All right, boys. It is officially Aquarius season, so if you are new to my channel, my name is Lorraine and I love going over everything astrology, especially sun-moon combinations. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Aquarius Sun with Scorpio Moon. So I'm going to start off the video by talking about what a typical Aquarius sun is like, and then I will get into the moon placement and talk about how the moon probably affects certain aspects of the sun sign. So if there's certain parts of my Aquarius sun description that don't quite fit or don't really resonate with you, then hang on until you hear my description of your moon sign and how they interact with each other, and then it will probably tie together quite nicely and make a lot of sense. Now, before I get started, I want to let you know that once a month I'm giving away a free astrology birth chart reading. So if you want to know how you can enter into this draw and potentially get a free reading from myself, which would cover more than just your sun and moon sign like in this video, then stay tuned till the end and I'll let you know how to enter. But now let's dive into Aquarius Sun. So Aquarius Suns are very easygoing, patient, unique, and intellectual. They're definitely the most opinionated air sign. Libra and Gemini, they do like learning about information and having ideas, but I find that they tend to kind of be pretty airy about how much they stick to those opinions. Aquarius is a lot more opinionated, and they are a lot less likely to bend to other people's opinions and other people's like pressure to agree with them. Aquarius is far more likely to be opinionated and refuse to conform to what other people think. Because a lot of the time when you're opinionated, you're going to have some pushback or conflict from other people that don't agree with you. And I find that Gemini and Libra are the two air signs that are far more likely to kind of cave to some pressure or just understand both sides or just want to get along. Aquarius is a little less like that. They're far more likely to stand firm in their opinions. The nice thing about Aquarius though is they tend to, like, despite their strong opinions, they tend to not be very judgmental of others for their differing views. In fact, I find Aquarius can have quite a bit of respect for other people's viewpoints if they, aren't aggressive or mean about it. Basically, if two people are able to just have differing viewpoints and actually have a real conversation, and if Aquarius is able to understand like how people got to that understanding or that belief or that opinion, they're pretty likely to kind of understand and not be super judgmental about it. They don't easily get offended. Aquarius is not an emotional placement, and they're quite objective, and so they tend to have kind of a live and let live mentality. So the only time in Aquarius is not those things, where they're the time that an Aquarius is judgmental and does not have a live and let live mentality is if they feel like the other person, or if someone is infringing on either their freedom or someone else's freedom in some way, or has an opinion that is potentially harmful or something like that. So Aquarius is very concerned about freedom and individuality. And so if someone has an opinion that's, say, very narrow-minded, or it kind of infringes on people's ability to be an individual and a free-thinking individual, then that's when Aquarius can be kind of judgmental and stick up for people. They love to, Aquarius is a very rebellious placement, and they love to stand up for other people, and they love to stand up for causes. So you'll probably tend to see, like, if Aquarius is standing up for some kind of cause where they want to create change of some kind, it usually has to do with freedom and individuality and kind of unity. They want people to be able to stand up for like this unity and this collective ideal of some kind. And that's kind of what you see happening lately with what's going on with Wall Street bets on the stock market. Saturn and Jupiter entered into Aquarius. First we had the great conjunction, and now they're both transiting through Aquarius throughout this year. And I had said in one of my transit videos that I think we're going to start see some kind of uprising and rebellion when it comes to freedom and wanting people to have like their collective freedoms, and people kind of being more united and banding together to create some sort of freedom when it comes to authority, government, work, finances, that sort of thing. And so we're starting to see that. And that's just pinnacle Aquarius, is rebelling to create some sort of change in the direction of freedom and standing for a collective cause. So Aquarius is also known for being quite aloof. That comes from being very independent and just wanting their own individuality and freedom. So they can come across across quite aloof. They're just not a very emotional placement. They don't get easily worked up. But despite that, they do enjoy relationships with like of all kinds, romantic, friendship, otherwise. They enjoy getting to know lots of people, and they enjoy connecting with people, and they can be a very reliable and faithful friend as long as that person doesn't infringe on their independence and their freedom. So it can come across to other people as them being very cold when they have this relationship with a person, whether it's a friendship or romantic or a family, a member of some kind. They can have what feels like a very close relationship. They get along really well, and the Aquarius Sun is really easy to get along with. You know, they're the kind of people you can just hang out in their company and in their presence, and you don't really have to try super hard, right? And they're not the kind of people that you have to like plan some big thing to do with them. Like, they're the people that you could just like sit in silence with and actually enjoy their company. And you could do this if it has been like a year since you've seen them. You know, Aquarius Suns don't need a lot of attention. They don't need to be in constant contact. But you can pick up where you left off, even if it's been a long time since you've seen them. Now, the where Aquarius comes across as very cold and detached is because their individuality and their freedom is the most important thing to them. And so they can have a pretty good relationship with someone. Like I mentioned, it doesn't have to be romantic. So they can have this relationship with a person and seem quite close and get along really well. As soon as that person, though, is infringing on their independence and freedom, that is when Aquarius is able to drop them like a hot sack of potatoes and cut them off, essentially. So that's where, to other people, that seems very cold and, oh, like, how could you do that if, like, you know, we're close friends or we're dating or whatever it is. As soon as an Aquarius feels trapped, they are gone. And so that's just how they operate, because for them, the number one most important thing to them is their individuality and their independence and their freedom. And so as soon as you are going for that, they are out. And this can depend on the moon placement, which we will get to. Now, lastly, about Aquarius Sun is they, like I mentioned, are so concerned with being an individual and being unique. And sometimes I feel like the Aquarius puts like so much pressure on themselves to be unique and intellectual and different. You know, they're the kind of people that are into like conspiracy theories and alien life and just a lot of cool stuff, you know. But sometimes they can be so concerned about you being unique and being different and going against social norms that sometimes they just do it for the sake of being different or the sake of being unique. Not all of them, but some do. It's just that's so important to them that like it's almost as if sometimes I think Aquarius's self-worth is attached to how unique they are and how how special they are compared to other people. I think Aquarius's biggest fear would be being average or being mediocre. So sometimes I feel like they put too much pressure on themselves, or they're so concerned with being unique and being different that sometimes they do it just for the sake of being unique and different, even if that's not truly who they are or what they're interested in or want to do. Now, before I get started on the moon sign, I just wanted to let you know about the Kickstarter campaign that I have officially launched. At the time of recording this is how much I have raised already, and I would really appreciate if you would check it out if you enjoy the content that I'm making. This Kickstarter campaign will be helping fund the content that I'm making for this YouTube channel, like the sun-moon combinations, and it will also help fund the making and printing of this beautiful tarot deck. So I will leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. In the meantime, let's get back to today's video. So now we get to Scorpio Moon. So Scorpio and Aquarius are square each other, so this can be a bit of a difficult pairing, but let's get into it. So a typical Scorpio Moon is very intense and very passionate, driven, and observant, and they're able to overcome a lot of challenges and hurdles that are thrown their way because of their persistence and their willpower. The Scorpio moons have a kind of a mysterious vibe about them. Because they're often able to mask how they truly feel, because they're not very easily trusting of people. They're the kind of placement where it takes a long time or a difficult time to truly get under the shell and get to know them. But once you do, you're in, and they have a tendency of being quite jealous and possessive, because they don't easily trust people. They don't easily let people in. And so if they've let you in, like, you better stick around. Scorpio is a water sign, but I find the difference between Scorpio and the other two water signs in Cancer and Pisces is when it comes to if they're unhealthy, if they've been hurt by people they love, their approach is a lot more passive, right? So, they will probably resort to being a little snippy or passive aggressive, or even resort to manipulation, versus Scorpio, I feel like, takes a little more of a direct approach. They are far more likely to kind of plan out revenge and try to get revenge and hold a grudge. So they're a little more direct in their approach to how they handle betrayal or hurt from people in their life. So Scorpios do not like to be controlled. So this is one similarity to Aquarius, the sun sign. But the difference with Scorpio is that they love to be in control. And so it can come across a little hypocritical, especially with the Aquarius sun, in that they don't want to be controlled, and they can't handle people that are jealous or possessive of them, because Aquarius loves freedom and their individuality, and that's really the one thing they care about most in the world, is their ability to be a unique individual and have their independence. But then their Scorpio moon is very jealous and possessive and holds on really tight and likes to be in control. They don't let people in very easily. They're slow to trust, and then once you're in, they're really putting all of their trust in you. And if you betray that in any way, even if it's small, they're very slow to forgive and have a hard time forgiving and may hold on to a grudge. So this could be a challenging pair when it comes to their approach, maybe even their worldview and their reactions to things, because Aquarius is more aloof, and they tend to have, for the most part, a live and let live approach. They're very much about independence and freedom, and they're very idealistic, sometimes even utopian. And then it would be kind of hard to balance that with the Scorpio moon's very intense, passionate, just intensity. But I do see this being a very capable person, because Aquarius would have these things that they want to do, these intellectual pursuits, maybe it's artsy, creativity, whatever their unique individual pursuits are, their desire to always reinvent themselves, whatever it may be. They would have a level of intensity behind that because of the Scorpio moon. And like I mentioned, Scorpio is very driven and persistent. They have a lot of willpower. And so really, I think whatever Aquarius is pursuing is probably going to be a little less airy and flowy and a little more intense. and they're far more likely to want some sort of person in their life, maybe multiple people, whatever it may be. I think that this Aquarius is definitely far more likely to want to have people in their life. But it could be a difficult pairing to get to know, because you've got the aloof nature of the Aquarius, and they're always reinventing themselves and they love their independence so much. But then you have the Scorpio moon that is able to easily mask how they feel and doesn't let people in too easily. How I could see this being is actually the Scorpio moon, in a way, maybe protecting the Aquarius sun's independence. So that could be one of the ways that this pairing works together, is by the Aquarius sun wants to have fun and be independent, reinvent themselves, pursue all the Aquarius things, and then the Scorpio moon doesn't easily trust people. It's hard to kind of let people in, and they're very intense and passionate. So maybe Scorpio moon is able to direct all of their passion and energy into the Aquarius pursuits, and then they're able to kind of assess whether they let someone in or not. They're able to be like, well, I'm actually really driven to this thing, and I need my independence, and I don't want to be controlled. And so it could actually be the Scorpio moon could work together with the Aquarius to help them pursue their goals and their pursuits and their utopian ideas, and while also figuring out whether they're going to let people in on it and let someone get close to them, because the Scorpio is very observant and is probably able to figure out, would this person inhibit my my world and my pursuits and the Aquarius sun's independence. So I could see this pairing actually working together, especially if it's some sort of pursuit that they both enjoy. And the Scorpio moons have a tendency to be obsessive about things, and so that actually could, in a sense, be an asset to Aquarius and just helping them accomplish the things that they really want to. So that is all I have planned for today's video. Thank you for watching all of the way through. As promised, I wanted to let you know how you could enter to win the free birth chart reading. So all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and then comment below the video letting me know that you have done so. When you've done those two things, both of those, then you will be entered to win a free birth chart reading from myself, and then I will announce the winner at the end of the month. I'll release a video on the last day of each month, and that's how you'll be able to watch to find out if you've won. So stay tuned for that, and good luck. And if you're feeling generous, you could give this video a like and potentially check out my Kickstarter campaign. That is all for now. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more. I hope to see you again. Take care.